Hello, it's Dr. Rhonda Johnson, and today is Friday, July 2nd, 2021. And today I'm going to be talking about the Delta variant. You know, I do a lot of community education, and in some of the sessions I've done recently, people are very nervous about the Delta variant. There's been a lot of media and coverage on social media about this Delta variant. And so people have been asking me, should I worry about the Delta variant? Should I change the way that I plan to, live my life or take vacation because of this Delta variant? And so here's my answer. Folks, yes, we have to all be concerned about the Delta variant, but your level of concern should really depend on if you're vaccinated or unvaccinated. So here's my general guidance. If you're vaccinated, and that's for the fully vaccinated folks, 2 doses of Pfizer, Moderna, plus 14 days out, or 1 dose of Johnson & Johnson and 14 days out. For them, many of them, the COVID-19 situation is a done deal. It doesn't dominate their life. They go about living, doing the things that they want to do. They have returned pretty much to activities that were normal for their lives pre-pandemic. And that's what the CDC says that they should do, because they're unlikely to contract any variant of COVID-19. And if they do, the chances that they will suffer serious illness is low. Now, according to CDC, the fully vaccinated can socialize without a mask indoors, outdoors. But the World Health, as you know, says you can wear a mask, and they advise you to wear a mask indoors and in high-risk social situations, and to continue to practice social distancing and wash your hands, even if you're fully vaccinated. Now, let's look at other populations. So for children under 12, they are not eligible yet for any of the COVID-19 vaccines, and the Delta virus is spreading, and many parents are understandably anxious. Now, many states have lifted mask mandates. Kids are going to go back to in-person learning. They're going back to camp. And the mask mandate varies by state, and it varies by locality. It varies by what business you go to. It varies for camps and daycares, so parents are understandably confused. So I tell people to follow the mask guidance wherever you are. And you've got to know your child's health risk. If they have chronic diseases such as heart disease or asthma, they could be particularly vulnerable. If they're overweight children, many children are overweight and obese, they have high risk of getting more complications if they're hospitalized from COVID. So I would continue to make health decisions around masking, socially distance for my under 12 unvaccinated children, if I had any, based upon the individual health risk of my children and the local COVID infection rate. Now, there's another group of people who, again, guidance is really unclear. That's the people who have had natural COVID infection. Again, their immunity is there. They have some level of protection, but no one's really sure how robust their immune responses will be. The only way to know would be to get an antibody test, and nobody is doing that. So again, even if you've had COVID-19, I think you need to use sound judgment when it comes down to masking and socially distancing. Now, how bad is Delta virus, the Delta variant, rather? Delta does appear to be worse than the other COVID virus variants in terms of contagiousness and severity, according to the experts. The risk of being exposed to the Delta variant, folks, is highest for those geographic areas with the lowest vaccination rates. You know, this isn't rocket science. You take a highly contagious virus, you put it in a population for which there's little to no immunity, and the virus is just going to have an open season, lots of people to infect, and you get COVID outbreaks. Right now, the region that's experiencing a lot of these Delta virus outbreaks are Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, and Missouri. According to the CDC, these are the areas of the United States that have the highest proportion of the Delta variant infections in the country. Now, what does a Delta variant infection look like? Again, the doctors are saying that it looks a little bit different than the original virus. It may look more like a bad cold at first. It seems like the symptoms are more often to be nasal congestion, runny nose, like a bad head cold, sore throat, headache, and fever. And emergency room doctors are saying that the typical COVID-19 symptoms, such as loss of taste and smell, are uncommon with this new Delta variant. In the United Kingdom, where the Delta variant is causing more than 95% of new cases, experts are saying the most common symptoms of COVID-19 now are sore throat, runny nose, fever, and headache. So it's important to remember that COVID-19 affects different people in different ways. So if you're out there and if you're unvaccinated and you have a bad cold, have a fever, you feel fatigued, you might need a COVID-19 test. And we have to remember, too, for the fully vaccinated, that none of these vaccines are 100% effective. So if you're experiencing these symptoms and you're fully vaccinated, you have a high bad cold, sore throat, slight fever, feeling fatigued, you may need a COVID-19 test. So the bottom line is we're in the second summer of this pandemic. We have a new COVID variant. We have lots of COVID variants, but the Delta variant seems to be the one that's creating the most concern. Please continue to be safe. Use common sense when it comes to masking, hand washing, and socially distancing. We still need to protect ourselves and protect the ones that we love from COVID-19. So that's my message. I hope it's been helpful. As always, my views are my own, and stay safe and have a blessed and joyful weekend.